and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I thought I would film a kind of what I'm currently loving makeup wise video. I was gonna do like a love it and hate it video, and then I thought, meh, I just want to talk about things that I love because that's a nicer feeling in your heart. And also it's not like a March favourites or anything, it's just like over the past few months products that I've been reaching for a lot and using a lot and really enjoying every time I have reached for them for one reason or another. So if you want to see what are kind of my current past few month favourites, things that I'm just loving and reaching for over and over again, then please do just keep on watching. First thing I want to talk about is something that I actually used today for the very first time, which is weird to say it's a favourite, but I think with this kind of product, once you've used it once, then you know whether you really like it or not. And it is actually a sponge, and it is the new, well, I don't know if these are new, but it's the LA Girl makeup sponge. I say new because I got a big PR package of LA Girl stuff and these were included. I used this one today and not this one, so there's a huge size difference. This is kind of drying up now, but it definitely at least doubles in size. They're so soft, and I'm actually currently filming a testing LA Girl foundation video, and in it I said that if Beauty Blender and Real Techniques sponges got married, then this is what, you know, would become of that marriage. It's an incredible sponge. It's so soft, so squidgy, not hard, not like punching yourself with a rock in the face. It's just wonderful, and if I can find a link to these from a UK site, I'll link them. If not, they are on the LA Girl website, 2 for $12, which is super cheap. That's what, like, I don't know, £8 or £9 here for 2 sponges, which is incredible. So I'm just getting those out of the way now because they are just like a today first use, but I already know that this is going to be like my most used sponge right now. In terms of eyeshadow palettes, I've been using a lot recently. If you can't tell, I really love bright, bold eyeshadow looks. I'm not generally one that goes for 1 or 2 colours or just a light wash of colour on my eye. I tend to go hard, or I wear nothing at all and look like poo. But I've got a bunch of palettes that I've been reaching for a lot and loving. The first one is my Morphe 35B. It is what I'm wearing today. I think it's out of stock still on the Beauty Bay website, but if it is, it's in stock on the Morphe website, and I'll link it down below. But this is just an incredible brights palette, and if you need a brights palette or you want to start experimenting with colour, then I can't recommend this enough. I mean, they're not the best quality eyeshadows I've ever found. You do have to build up the colour a little bit to actually get an intense payoff, but the selection of colours that you get is incredible. You can see I've hit pan on quite a few shades now, and I just find myself reaching for this. I think, you know, when I wake up and I'm like, what eyeshadow look will I do today? Will I do a bright look or what? This is a palette I'll generally pick up and be able to create a bright look. It's the only thing I'm wearing on my eyes today apart from some glitter liner, but yeah, this is just incredible. It's not very expensive. I think it's around 18 or 20 pounds. I don't know. I think Morphe prices are going up, kind of without telling us. But yeah, it's a really good palette. Would highly recommend. On the other side of the spectrum though, there is the new ABH Soft Glam palette. I am really liking this. The formula is what's kind of making me pick it up again and again, because it is the Modern Renaissance formula, or as close to that as they can make it. It's certainly not the same as Subculture, and it's not the same as Prism either. It's a very, very neutral palette, as you can see. It's not exciting is how I would kind of describe it, because it's not a palette that I pick up and go, ooh, I'm going to create some kind of crazy eye look, but it's a lovely day-to-day palette. And if you are in the market for day-to-day shades, but you can amp it up with these deeper shades on the end, then it's just really lovely. I think my favourite shades in here are probably Bronze. I'll do a close-up swatch, and Sultry. They're like butter, they're wet. That's just some of the swatches. That's Bronzed, that's Sultry, Orange Soda, and Dusty Rose. Oh, they are just lovely. Look at those. Moving on to 2 palettes that I think are quite similar but different are the Nabla Dreamy palette and the Colour Drain Queen of Hearts. Again, these are probably both out of stock on Beauty Bay at the moment, but I'll find links to them somewhere. The Nabla palette is look at those colours. I found the first thing that drew me to this palette was a picture of swatches that I saw online. I'm going to insert it here because it's still kind of, the colours in it are just so gorgeous. And this palette is just, I think it was around £30. I can't actually remember how much it was. But the colours in here are stunning. Let me swatch my favourites again. Look how pigmented that is. What's another favourite? They're all favourites, to be honest. So there's a variety of swatches from the palette. They're hugely pigmented, really blendable, easy to use, very, very cohesive. Oh, it's just gorgeous. I recommend that palette now to everyone that loves those kind of warm tones. And then the second one I mentioned was the Colour Drain Queen of Hearts, which is a bit bigger. This is more expensive. This is around £40, which is expensive. Sure, it's expensive, but it's so worth it. This palette blows my mind every time I use it. I'm just so happy with how my makeup comes out. There are some swatches of that palette. I don't think those first three colours remind you of like Christmas. But this palette is incredible. Very pigmented, very easy to blend, very, very high quality shadows. For how much I've used this palette, I do think it's worth £45, but I know that is super, super expensive. It's more expensive than the Modern Renaissance. I think the Napoli one is around £30, and if you can't stretch the 45 for this, I would recommend this one instead. I think paying more for shadows is, I think it's one of those things that you do need to spend more on usually. You know, for example, foundation and concealers, I can usually find really inexpensive ones that I think are incredible, but I always find that my high priced eyeshadows are better than any drugstore ones I've tried. But saying that, there is a drugstore palette that has blown me away, and it's the Soft as Nails palette. I have used this so many times on my channel. I've talked about it so often. I've posted so much about it on my social media. This is a great palette. This is £10 in collaboration with Soft as Nails on YouTube. It's a lovely palette. It's not as pigmented as the ones that I've previously swatched for you, but it is a great palette, and I find that if you just put a bit of time into building up the pigmentation, then there really is a lovely payoff. There's a few swatches of that palette there, so you can see there is a lot of pigment, but that is finger swatches. But build it up on your eyes, spend a bit of time in it, and you will get a lovely, lovely eyeshadow look. I want to talk quickly about the foundation that I've been reaching for the most over the past few months, and it's definitely my Maybelline Superstay foundation. This is just full coverage, flawless makeup, and it's just brilliant. It's £9.99, so it's not the cheapest of foundations in the drugstore, but it's well worth the price. It is pretty much the same thing as the Huda foundation in terms of coverage, finish and longevity, but a lot cheaper. The Huda's about £32, and that breaks me out. But yeah, can't recommend this enough. I've used this again in a lot of videos, a lot of posts on my social media. Well worth the price. I finally picked up a lighter shade than the one I was using. As you can see, that's a bit too dark. This one's perfect for me. And if you love high coverage, long lasting foundations, and you haven't tried this, then go and pick it up. It really is worth it. I mean, what can I say apart from it? It's pretty much a perfect drugstore foundation. It's all I can ask for from a foundation. So I'll change up from makeup for a second, and we'll talk about brushes. I do actually get sent quite a lot of brushes, which is great. I am addicted to makeup brushes. If you could see in front of me, you'd see 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 big pots of brushes, because they're just something that I love gathering and collecting and testing and using. But I got sent these brushes a few months ago now, maybe 2 months ago, and they are Nima brushes, which look like this. I love the kind of pale handles on them, although they do get quite dirty in my makeup collection. But these brushes are just incredible quality. My favourite one of all time is the Bell brush. It's this huge blending brush. You can see I've used them today, which is so soft, so big, so fluffy, incredible for any transition shades if you want to really kind of puff them out and make them really seamless. Also this brush here, which is the Ifa brush, I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's a small little detail brush, great for doing like cut creases. But all of the brushes that I've tried from them have really, really, really impressed me. They're not high high-end brushes and the price isn't drugstore either. They're somewhere in between and they're incredible quality, well worth the money. I'm gonna definitely place an order for a lot more of their brushes because I want to continue testing them, because these are just, they're just wonderful. And if you're in the market for brushes, I would definitely recommend these. Lovely brushes. Also a really nice company. The woman that runs it, or at least runs her social media, so nice, and that always makes a big difference. I want to talk about another couple of ABH products. The Amrezi highlighter, which is what I'm wearing today. Look at that glow. This thing is gorgeous. I've used it to death already. Like, I've kind of ruined the lovely pattern in it almost. It's so beautiful, it's so blinding, works on very fair skin if you use a light hand or build it up, and you get a really blinding glow. I think this is incredible. It's quite expensive. It is limited edition. If you've been thinking about getting it, I would recommend it. I need to buy a backup because I worry about the day that I hit pan on this. I think there's quite a lot of product in here though. I think it's about 10 grams or so. 9 grams of product, so I shouldn't run out too soon. But yeah, love this and would really recommend. And then their new bronzer line. This is a shade Rosewood that I use all the time. It's what I'm wearing today. It really suits my pale skin. It's a great body bronzer as well. Quite often I'll take it down my neck and on top of my shoulders and over my chest, especially if my foundation is slightly too dark for me. Very pigmented, very beautiful. I mean, it's a bronzer, I can't show you much of it, but it's just a lovely product. Blends very easily, but again, quite expensive. And I think if I hadn't been sent them all, I would kind of be like, at paying that price, but having tested it, I do think it's worth the price. But on the topic of bronzer, something slightly more inexpensive is my favorite drugstore one. It's not really drugstore, is it? Well, it is. It's Milani. So this is £11 on Beauty Bay, and this is in the shade 04 Glow. This is my favourite bronzer that isn't the ABH one. This is gorgeous. It has kind of gold seams running through it, so it's got a little bit of sheen to it, but it is in no way sparkly. Don't worry, you're not going to be putting glitter all over your face. Again, it's something I use a lot in videos, and it's just a gorgeous bronzer. Again, beautiful on the body as well, especially if you want to give yourself a bit more of a sheeny kind of bronze. Yeah, I would highly recommend that. It's a lovely product. Moving on to lashes, which is again something I don't go without any day. I'm currently wearing the SOSU Dubai lashes. These are £5 in Primark, and they are incredible. That's a different pair of lashes that I just stored in there because I'd used them. But these are great. These are all £5 each. I've got the Lauren Pope Slay ones if you want something a bit more kind of day-to-day lash, because these are quite subtle. They're not the kind of lash I usually go for, but I did really enjoy them when I wore them. The Kylie lashes are slightly harder to apply because they have a slightly thicker lash band. They're not a kind of, I wouldn't say these are a novice lash, whereas the Lauren Pope ones would be. But once you put these on, you're like, oh my eyes. They're so beautiful, very dramatic. Again, only a £5, and then the Dubai ones that I'm wearing right now. These ones actually go really beautifully with no eye makeup. So when I went to London and I travelled down, I just went for a really bright, bold red lip and these lashes, and I think it just looked really beautiful. So these SOSU lashes, £5, and you can reuse them heaps and heaps. I've already worn these Dubai ones about 5 times. I've worn my Kylie ones 2 or 3 times, and they've just, you know, take care of them well, and they'll last you, I'd say, 20-30 uses easily if you look after them well. The last thing I'll talk about is a moisturizer combo. So my favorite moisturizer is the Decleor Hydra that's so hard for me to say. Decleor Hydra Floral Moisturizer. This is expensive, but it is so good. So good. But what I love doing now is I moisturize every morning anyway prior to putting on my makeup. But because we're getting to the spring and summer, kind of, I mean it's kind of sunny today, I've been mixing in some kind of liquid illuminator into my moisturizer and then putting it all over my face, and I just think my skin looks great. And in fact, Nicole, my friend, said to me, are you already wearing foundation, when we met up the other day? And I wasn't. I was just wearing the moisturizer and the highlighter, and it just just something about it made my face look great. But on top of, under foundation, sorry, you do get that kind of lovely dewiness coming through, and it's great. So my two favourites to mix are my ABH Liquid Glow in Perla or my MAC Strobe Cream. They have the right consistency to mix with the moisturiser. So I'll put the moisturiser on and then I'll like squeeze one of these on and then spread it all over, you know, as you put moisturiser on, and you just get that lovely glow, but you're still getting your hit of moisturisation. And I just think it adds something extra to my makeup every day. Not that I do it every day because I'm quite lazy with like lots of steps sometimes, but yeah, I just think if you do moisturise anyway and you want a little bit of luminosity to your skin, even if you then don't wear makeup, try mixing MAC Strobe Cream in. I'm saying this one because this one's colourless pretty much, whereas this one's kind of got a golden champagne tint. So if you're just one of those people that's happy to just pop your moisturiser on every morning and then go about your day, try mixing in a bit of MAC Strobe Cream or any other liquid illuminator that you have and see what you think. I just think it takes my skin up a notch, and I feel more comfortable going out makeup free when I've done just these two steps. So that is currently what I'm loving in my makeup collection. There are of course a lot more things. I haven't even talked about any lip products or contour or blush or anything, but I just feel like when I looked through my collection today when I was kind of tidying up, I thought, oh, I've used that so much, I've used that so much, oh I love that. And I just wanted to tell you guys what I've been loving because some of you like my recommendations. I'm also currently loving the new LA Girl foundation, but I'm not including it in this video because it is the first time I've tried it, the new one. Depending on how well it wears today. Like I said, I'm in the middle of a wear test, but I mean, if this wears well, this could very well make it into my next few month update on what I'm loving. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm getting quite close to 5,000 subscribers and I have a big giveaway. I've got a big pile of makeup over there, which I'm going to pop in the 5k giveaway. And come and follow my Instagram, it's Makemeupmissa, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!